Hello, our genetics help video topic of the day is sex-linked traits. So when we talk about sex-linked traits, it means that these genes are found on the X and Y chromosomes. So we normally look at them found on the X chromosome. We have a couple of things to go over here before we can even start this whole process. You need to have an XY to be considered a genetic male, and an XX to be considered a genetic female. Now again, I'm not talking about gender that you choose or gender that you have with your emotions or your hormones. I'm talking about just your pure genetics of your chromosomes. That's all. Because that's what's going to be determining what's passed on in your genetics. So let's take a look. Hemophilia is a sex-linked trait on the X chromosome. If a man with hemophilia has a child with a carrier woman, what is the chance that their child has hemophilia too? That's another key point we need to bring up. A carrier. A carrier is the same thing as saying pretty much a heterozygous woman. And that means that she would have one of the alleles for the trait, but not the other, and would not be affected. So hemophilia is a sex-linked trait. It is recessive. It's a recessive trait. That's something that would be normally given to you in the question, and most sex-linked traits are recessive. The majority are. So let's take a look at what we could say here. We have a man with hemophilia. We know right off the bat the dad is XY because he is male genetically. So if he has hemophilia and it's going to be found on the X chromosome, we're going to go ahead and put X little h. Remember, it's recessive. So it's going to be X little h. So we'll put that over here. Little h is for hemophilia. And we'll put big H for normal. Hemophilia is a disease that it interferes with your body's ability to clot your blood. So if you get injured and you have hemophilia, you may be missing some of the things that help your blood stop flowing out of your body, especially back when kings and queens were very prevalent and intermarrying was prevalent. A lot of kings and queens had hemophilia and could die if they injured themselves even just a little bit. So, not as common anymore, and medication is available for it now, but I digress. For mom over here, mom is a carrier woman, and again, she is XX genetically. And if she's a carrier, she has one of each allele. So she's going to be X big H, X little h. So she carries the hemophilia gene, but being normal or having no hemophilia is going to be the dominant allele. If we look at it here, there is nothing going to be on this Y chromosome. The Y chromosome doesn't carry the gene for hemophilia, so nothing goes there. Let's go ahead and put our parents in our Punnett square. I like to put the dad along the top of the Punnett square. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter which parent goes where. It's just up to you, but I prefer to do it this way. So I have my dad's genotype up here and my mom's genotype over here. Now you know I don't mean my mom. My parents don't have hemophilia. When you cross these, you cross them like you would a normal Punnett square. You just have a couple letters to carry through. X big H comes all the way across. X little h comes all the way across. X little h comes all the way down. And the Y comes all the way down as well, with nothing attached to it. Now, there's a couple of things we need to point out. Anytime a baby is born, there is technically a 50-50 chance of it being female or male, or of it having XX or XY when it's born. So these over here would be our genetic baby boys, and these over here would be our genetic baby girls. So that's what we're looking at here. You should have two of each. If you ever find out that you have 3 Y chromosomes or 3 squares with Y chromosomes in them, you've done it incorrectly. So please make sure that you should have 2 that are XX and 2 that are XY. That's just the way you need to make sure you're set up. From here, we can take a look and see which of these children would have hemophilia. Hemophilia is recessive. So we're looking for these children to only have little h chromosomes. Remember, if they have a little h and a Y, they have hemophilia because there is nothing on that Y, no dominant allele, to make them normal or non-hemophilia. So we should have 2. This little girl right here has only little h's for hemophilia. This little boy right here has only a little h for hemophilia as well. So we take a look at this. So the chance that their child has hemophilia would be 2 out of 4. If we look up here, some of you are saying, but what about this one? There is a little h here for hemophilia, but this little girl is going to be a carrier like her mom. She's got a big H and a little h, which means that she will carry that allele, but will not actually show the phenotype. This boy here only has the normal allele for hemophilia, so that little boy is not a carrier. Boys can't really be carriers in this case, and he'll be normal. So we have 1, 2 possibilities out of 4. If we simplify it, that becomes 1 out of 2. Just divide 2 by 2 and 4 by 2, which will get us to 50%. So there's a 50% chance that their child will have hemophilia. The second thing we need to take a look at is if you have a question that asks you, what percentage of the baby girls will have hemophilia, you answer it slightly differently. So now we're going to look at it like this. So what percentage of the baby girls will have hemophilia? Now you get to kind of ignore the baby boys because you're only looking at the baby girls if that question is asked. So there are only 2 possibilities. So of the 2 baby girls, 1 will have hemophilia. So that answer is still 50% of the baby girls will have hemophilia. But it could be a little bit different depending on your makeup of your Punnett square. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos about genetics and genetics help. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. And I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you later.